I apologise for feeling like shit. I'm on like 4 hours of sleep. I've also just come off my third shift, so this video is likely to be posted on the 5th after I've come in from my 4th shift. But I just wanted to talk about my experience working a 9 to 5 for the first time, from which a lot of you who haven't got the confidence to apply for a job are going to want to hear what I've got to say. I had my very first shift early this week on Monday, and the experience was completely different to how I anticipated it to be. You see, I don't honestly know why I was holding back for so long before finally taking this step. Way before I even knew about self-improvement, when I was uneducated and addicted to all the bad habits, I did not think they would impact my mental health so negatively. The main one definitely being porn. I did not notice the effects self-abuse had until I decided to quit it after watching a video explaining it all. When I say self-abuse, I'm obviously talking about masturbation, but that shit is no different if you were to just abuse yourself. Throughout that period of time where I didn't abuse myself, my mental health improved so much. I was more willing to step out of my house and actually speak to people with confidence. But as soon as I relapsed after a couple months, it was like the whole world came crashing down on me. I know a lot of people who blame their anxiety and depression to trap themselves inside and try to avoid anything and everything outside of their room without realising the damage they're causing to themselves by being addicted to all these bad habits, which is the exact reason why they don't want to leave their house. I once isolated myself for the very same reasons. I don't want to go out and seem awkward around people. I don't want to become an embarrassment for people that don't have an opinion about me. I cared so much about the things that people could potentially be thinking about me, when in reality I shouldn't have given a fuck and just stayed focused on myself, because that's what that matters. I'm not going to go too deep into it now. I'll just make a separate video on that later on. There were a few areas my place of work hadn't informed me about beforehand, like their dress code, which happened to be all black. Me, of course, not knowing about it, I turned up in shorts. I was told I when I was about to go change them straight away. Luckily I had a pair of black work pants from Dickies, because all I had other than that was tie-up jeans from like 6 years ago. My house is only around the corner from my place of work, so it only took me a couple minutes to change. Once I got back, I was taken for a tour around the building. They showed me the area I was going to work on and who I was going to work with for that day. The person I worked with is actually chill. I made friends with them and we just got on with the job. This one lady that also works there was acting extremely rude. When I tell you, every time you speak to her or she speaks to you, you can just hear the anger in her voice. It's like she wants to strangle you. I might be wrong, but her attitude must stem from the fact that she's ended up in the position she has and absolutely hates everything. Me being new, of course, she would refer to me as new boy instead of at least asking for my name. It is what it is, I guess. I might be overreacting, but we'll see how it goes. All we had done on my first day though was load stock onto a flatbed, unload it around the store, and a bit cleaning here and there. A couple hours go past and out of nowhere I begin to feel myself drifting off into a different dimension. I let my body take over me while my brain was floating elsewhere. I was so locked into the process of unpacking those boxes that nothing else around me mattered. It's definitely one of those jobs where you lose your mind in the process, because you're constantly moving about but you're still kind of working the same thing throughout your entire shift. My phone fell, but we're all good. So like I was saying, I got the hang of things pretty quick, where everything was located, all the safety measures. But yeah, again, that's how it is with anything you do in life. As you do the same thing over and over, you become more familiar with it and eventually get something out of it. Some things come quicker and others take longer. It all really depends on the person you are and what it is you're doing. It was quite a wild experience, but there's no doubt you won't have a story to tell after your first ever shift. It's a whole different climate in the world of work. I actually felt like I was imprisoned at one point. Apparently my shift was from 10 till 2, but somehow I carried on till 6 without being warned about it or anything. There was no sign of a break for me, and I obviously didn't want to ask for one because I thought that if I'd continue working for another 4 hours, I'd get paid more. On one or two different occasions, the assistant manager did tell me to go and get water from a bag, so I went and did that, but was back out straight away, just to kind of show a good impression that I'm not there to mess about and actually get the job done. So to wrap things up, if I had to give you a piece of advice, then it'd be to not turn up with your mind focused entirely on the money you're going to get out of doing your job. It's important to note things down somewhere on a piece of paper, because the knowledge you gather will then always be available to you when building your own business. Be yourself as well, of course, and don't spend your money unnecessarily. It will always be better to reinvest into the business that will allow you to be your own boss. I'll keep you updated. Peace out.